Now at 9, we'll visit the Crawford County Goat Show. Plus, a Knoll Coffee Shop hosts a resume and job application assistance event. And the ARMA VJ homecoming celebrations take place this weekend.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Elise Noe. The Crawford County Fairgrounds hosted their goat show today. This show was sponsored by the American Boer Goat Association. Goat classes range from 0 to 3 months and all the way up to 3 to 5 years old. The goat handlers also vary in ages from small children to seniors. The handlers can also earn points that count towards the American Goat Association.
The American Boer Goat Association has a set of standards on color patterns, structure-wise, bone structure, overall body capacity. So the judges, they've got to study, they've got to know their goats and the Boer goats to come out and be judges here. So they're looking at the standard.
This will be the 10th annual year for the Fairgrounds Goat Show. For over 75 years, the ARMA VJ Homecoming has brought together communities all over southeast Kansas. KOAM's Anthony Sabiello has a story on this year's celebrations.
While storms in the night might have put a pause to many of the ARMA homecoming festivities in the morning, it didn't stop those who participated in the Run for Our Veterans 5K. A wet morning all but pushed these racers to finish strong and honor those who have bravely fought for our freedom. And sure enough, despite the chances of rain, festivities continued on in the afternoon. The crowd grew and the sun shined as parades were set to start. And what better way to start than with those who have the most spirit? These kids put on their best displays, showing off their bikes, a monster truck, and even a pony. But the most fun event had still yet to begin. Once the parade ended, it was time for the bed derby. That's right, bed derby. Teams get together to decorate a bed on wheels and race for the fastest time. A competition that seems like it should require some practice.
Honestly, just go for it. It's just gotta be fast, you know?
Just go for it? But one would think there would still be some preparation, right?
You know what? We showed up this morning, we're like, okay, let's win this, and that's exactly what we did.
Well, these kids just seem to have natural talent for bed racing. But while the derby is all fun and games, it's also about being around the community.
It's honestly such a great thing because there's little time for you to actually get out and see your fellow community members, and it's just fun to have fun with it. And it's just, we had such a great time today, and I'm so glad that we still have these things to where we can go out in the community and have fun.
5Ks, parades, and bed racing. A pretty crazy combination that makes for a pretty amazing day. Reporting in ARMA, I'm Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Haley and her team of bed racers won a total of $1,000 as both the winning team and the best decorated bed. Well, Chris Warner joins us for a first look at the forecast.
Yeah, we had some showers and thunderstorms this morning, and an earlier look at the MoDOT camera in 20th and Range Line in Joplin. We had increasing clouds, and we've got additional showers out to the west, and those will continue to roll through the area as we go into the overnight hours, and then we'll watch for additional thunderstorm chances as we go into early tomorrow morning, and then we're watching a more pronounced potential severe threat heading into Sunday evening. Started the day at 71, so just a pinch above normal, and we made it to 91, right at our average, but with all the moisture from the morning storms, boy, it sent heat index values 10 to 15 degrees above what the air temperature was. Earlier this evening, things calming down, at least temperature-wise. We go back into the upper 70s, low to mid-80s across the area, but still with some high heat index values. As mentioned, we're tracking some strong storms for this evening and overnight, and then more severe weather as we head into our Sunday. We'll take a look at that full forecast here in a few more minutes. Elise?
Well, thanks, Chris. Well, today, Joplin schools hosted a school bus camp for incoming kindergartners and first graders. The goal of the camp is to get the kids familiar with the school bus before their first day. During the camp, the kiddos and their parents got to ride in a school bus, grab free school supplies, and talk to Buster.
First thing we teach them is when they enter the bus, they use the handrail, and they always have to sit. They always have to keep their pockets in the seat.
They're learning lots of bus safety, how to cross the street properly, wait for the bus driver's signal to move forward, and safety on the bus. Sometimes kids don't understand that there are rules when they get on the bus as far as being, aware of themselves and others.
The bus camp also offered free fingerprinting and ID cards sponsored by MoChip. Many local churches were brought to Central Christian Center for a school supply giveaway today. Each church donated backpacks, pencils, crayons, and more, while some parents also donated supplies. Their goal is to not only bless the children's school year, but also to bring the community together.
Definitely helps because it's costly for them to go back to school. So with the programs, it is very beneficial not only for us but for other families, and we really appreciate it.
This is the first year I've donated instead of getting donations. So it means a lot because I know how hard it is for especially 2 children. I couldn't imagine having any more, and the list keeps growing and growing. So it feels really good to be able to bless another family.
Today, the giveaway had over 200 kids registered and even more in attendance. A Knoll coffee shop hosted a resume and job application assistance event to support people losing their jobs because of Tyson's plant closure. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has the story.
Growing up in Knoll, Erica Medina feels like her family's life was once centered around Tyson. Her parents worked there for years, and still today, her grandmother is an employee of the company. Erica knows she's one of many in Knoll.
Most of the community, if you go and ask around, they have either a family member, a friend, or just somebody they know that works at Tyson's. Since Knoll is just like such a heavy town, like based on Tyson's.
Tyson Foods announced plans to close its poultry processing plant in Knoll in October. In the southwest Missouri town, about 1,500 workers will lose their jobs. To try to help those impacted by the closure of the plant, the Common Cup, a Knoll coffee shop, is hosting a resume and job application help event. They had free drip coffee available to those needing assistance and multiple computers set up in the shop. Erica offered her time and knowledge. She served as a translator in the workshop, as many of Tyson's employees don't have English as their first language.
It's my community, it's my people. I grew up here, I went to school here, and I still live here. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I want to do something to help. Maybe I can't do much, but the things that I can do, I'm going to try.
While the rain might have discouraged some people to show up and ask for help, Abigail Dozal, another Spanish-speaking volunteer, was also available to offer support.
It's going to affect everybody in this town, and I feel that there's only one way to get through this, and it's if everybody comes together to move on from this.
Tyson's announcement also is near to her heart.
My mom works there, so I feel that I am a part of this. And you grow up here and you hate to see, this town to fall apart.
The coffee shop on Knoll's Main Street will hold resume and job application assistance events every Saturday until the plant's closure. In Knoll, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Next Saturday, the Common Cup's resume and job application help event will start at 7 a.m. Also next week, on Wednesday, the McDonald County Chamber of Commerce will host a resource and career fair in support of the Tyson employees who received their notice of job loss. For more information, go to our website at koamnewsnow.com. Later, back to school is just around the corner, and some teachers across the country are worried about air conditionings and extreme heat in their classrooms. Eating your greens might have more benefits than you thought. New research shows they can also help your lungs. Scientists in Denmark found that vitamin K also influences respiratory health. After studying the data for nearly 4,100 people between 24 and 77 years old, researchers found people with low levels of vitamin K were more likely to have poor lung function and suffer from diseases like asthma, wheezing, and even chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Study authors say more research is needed to determine if vitamin K supplements could be as helpful. Findings appear in the European Respiratory Society Open Research Journal. The FDA issued a warning Friday for certain products that test for pregnancy, ovulation, urinary tract infections, and other conditions. The manufacturer, Universal Meditech Incorporated, has stopped all operations and is no longer providing support for the test. The company has recalled undistributed tests, but not those that are already in the hands of consumers. The FDA advises anyone with the test to throw them away as they may not be safe and effective. Well, as teachers and students go back to school, concerns are rising about air conditioning issues. The Polk Education Association filed a class action grievance against the school board. This comes after air conditioning issues and outages. They say that the district had all summer to fix these problems. The PEA said that they should have had a backup plan beforehand. Chris Warner is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, we'll look at the challenges for home buyers and sellers.
Welcome back. So we had some morning thunderstorms across the area, and then we cleared out and it got very muggy. We had dew points in the upper 70s, which caused heat index values to be 10 to 15 degrees above the air temperature out there. And then we see more showers earlier in the evening, showers across parts of southeast Kansas. Even earlier, around 6:15, 6:30, we had a severe thunderstorm warning in Chautauqua County. No severe weather with any of that activity. What we are keeping an eye on is what's out to our west. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in southwestern Kansas and some warnings out there earlier this evening. And we're watching additional development of thunderstorms across north central Oklahoma and south central Kansas. And all of this activity will eventually shove on off to the east, and that'll bring us the opportunity for at least a few strong storms as we go late into the overnight hours and early tomorrow morning. So in terms of any strong storms, we're looking at a low hail risk and a low wind risk. We're talking some small hail, maybe some gusty winds up to about 60 miles an hour. The good news is we have a very low tornado risk. We don't have any areas highlighted. What we're more concerned about, honestly, is tomorrow, specifically late tomorrow evening. We have an elevated risk for severe storms across the entire area, and at least at this point, all severe weather hazards do appear possible, including the chance of maybe an isolated tornado or two. That can't be ruled out. So it's something that we're watching very closely with a strong cold front that's going to come in as we head into tomorrow evening. As for early tomorrow morning, we'll see these thunderstorms. Here we are at 3 a.m. Again, a couple of these could be on the strong side with some small hail and gusty winds, but not too terribly worried about any kind of widespread severe weather. After that, see, here we are at 11. This is much like where we were this morning across the area with some scattered showers and storms hanging on. We'll warm up as we head into the afternoon, and then by late evening, this is that cold front, and we're watching that line of strong, potentially severe thunderstorms to roll through as we go late through Sunday evening into very early Monday morning. And then by around sunrise on Monday, we should see the remainder of those storms clearing out. MoDOT camera 20th and range line earlier, starting to get dark out there. Clouds were increasing, and same from our camera here at the KOAM studios north of Crestline. Clouds increasing ahead of those showers out there, and of course from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue earlier this evening. Again, as we go into the overnight, increasing storm chances, winds south about 5 to 10, lows back into the low 70s. As we head into tomorrow, we got the AM and then PM storms, and some of those in the evening, those are the ones we're worried about, strong, possibly severe. So you see where we've got our morning rain chances, and they'll taper off in the evening until we get again into the late evening hours. And we take a look at the 7-day forecast, and you can see we're not looking too bad out there. Temperatures, thanks to that cold front, start to cool back a bit into the 80s. And then as we head further into next week, unfortunately, the heat does return. Temperatures start getting close to 100. But this potent cold front, look at Monday night, 60 degrees, could even be in the upper 50s in some areas in August. So it is a pretty potent cold front that we're keeping an eye on.
I'm looking forward to the, looks like 2 days that we'll get of relief.
Yeah, a couple of days at least to cool off for a minute, and then summer says, hold up, I'm not done yet.
Well, there we go. A woman that went missing a few days ago was found unresponsive in a cornfield. Fox's Camille Amiri is reporting on that story.
2 steps in the corn and you're disoriented and you have no idea where you're at.
Michigan State Police Trooper Jeff Schreiber says that's likely what happened to a woman he and his canine partner Woodson rescued on Tuesday. It was in a remote area of Livingston County.
Sure.
The woman had been in a single vehicle car accident. Her family found her car on Sunday, but she was nowhere to be found.
I know there had been drones out, the fire department had been out searching, family members have been out searching.
MSP was contacted on Tuesday.
It was, I think, around 84 degrees, humid. It was nasty out.
They searched the massive cornfield for more than 8 hours.
So you're going down the aisle of the corn and the stalks are hitting you in the face. It feels like a piece of wire, and it will just make cuts all on your face.
It was Woodson who tracked down the missing woman.
You know, we went about 3/4 of a mile into the corn, and he picked up his head, and at that point in time he winded her, and he went about 75 more yards.
Unresponsive, the 45-year-old woman was rushed to an area hospital in critical condition. Schreiber says she likely got out of the car after she crashed in hopes of getting help. She has since been upgraded to stable condition. The trooper, just thankful he and his partner found the missing woman, says it's a miracle she survived. In Livingston County, Camille Mary on the Edge.
Coming up, we'll take a look at how much families and college students are expected to spend this school season. And the real estate market isn't ideal right now for owners and buyers. We'll break down the details. Significant spending by college students and their families is expected to translate into a boost in retail sales this fall. In fact, students and their families are expected to lay out a record amount of money this year as demands for electronics and dorm decor increases. Some of their money will be going to custom art for their dorm room, air purifiers, mini fridges, and of course, coffee makers. An annual survey by the National Retail Federation says back to college spending has spiked by 40% just in the past 4 years. It's now at almost $1,400 per student. College officials say spending on dorm rooms has been on the upswing, but it's really exploded since the pandemic. Late summer travelers got lucky this week on gas prices, but in some states, the prices have inched up. The American Automobile Association says the national average for gas prices stayed at $3.82 a gallon, despite rising oil prices and gas demand. AAA says the higher oil prices will lead to higher gas pump costs. For buyers and sellers of homes, hearing "let's make a deal" isn't happening much right now. Real estate experts say the current home buying and selling conditions may be the most challenging ever. Data from federal lender Freddie Mac says buyers' costs are up to 20% over a year ago, and real estate agents say first-time buyers have it the hardest. Real estate experts also say buyers may want to go to states without individual income taxes. Well, next, a shopper finds a surprise in her groceries. A woman in Michigan found a live frog in her store-bought spinach. Fox's Jessica Dupnack has more on the story that's jumping right off of the shelf.
My daughter was screaming. She was like, "Oh my God, it's a frog." And I was like, "A what?" She was like, "A frog."
Camouflaged in her sealed package of spinach, a frog.
It was alive and moving.
Amber Warwick from Southfield doesn't want to forever be known as the frog lady, so she's keeping her face out of this.
Just thank God I didn't eat the frog.
This week, she was shopping at Meijer off Telegraph at 12 Mile, picking up a package of Earthbound Farms organic spinach.
I didn't see anything. It didn't feel heavy or anything. I didn't feel anything wiggling.
When she got it home, her daughter spotted it. Turns out it's a Pacific tree frog native to California. Amber immediately went back to Meijer with the spinach and frog in tow. We followed up with Meijer on Wednesday. They said the frog is actually alive and well and was relocated outside a new home by some of its team members.
Well, I didn't want him to die, but I didn't want him in my food.
Fair enough. Amber got a full refund, but she was hoping for a little something more for her inconvenience. The spinach's parent company, Taylor Farms, sent us a statement apologizing, vowing to do everything to keep this from happening again.
On the package it says 3 times washed or something like triple washed. I don't believe that it's washed. Because if it was, they would have caught that a whole live frog.
Reporting in Southfield, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, the latest on the devastating wildfires in Maui. Officials in Hawaii are working to house thousands of people left homeless by wildfires that devastated the island of Maui this week. It's the state's worst natural disaster in its history, and the rebuilding process could take years. Fox News correspondent Jake Karalexis has the latest.
Some roads reopening Saturday, allowing residents to return to what's left of their homes. Survivors in shock at the sight of their close-knit communities now left in ruins.
I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a war zone.
Our streets are gone. The whole town is gone. Our life is gone.
Hawaii's governor says the death toll is likely to rise as search and rescue operations across Maui evolve into recovery efforts. Hundreds are still unaccounted for. Officials still aren't clear on exactly how the fire started, but once it did, it spread quickly, fueled by dry conditions and strong winds from a nearby hurricane. Emergency alerts were sent out, but limited cell service meant many people didn't get them.
No sirens went off, nothing. It was fight or flight with no warning whatsoever.
Across the island, donation drives are ramping up, working to get supplies to families in need. Some of the most needed items include food, baby formula, and diapers. It really is an all-hands-on-deck effort to get help here, being so far from the mainland. Alaska Airlines is flying in pallets of supplies. The Red Cross is also on the ground helping out as the island faces a long road to recovery.
We need donations. We need people shipping things out here. We need families fed. We need we need so much help.
The other big need is housing. The governor plans to use hotels for evacuees and is even asking people with extra rooms to help out. In Maui, Jake Karalexis, Fox News.
Chris Warner joins us for another look at the weather.
Yeah, we had some morning showers and thunderstorms across the area. It doesn't take long to get dark. We were looking earlier at the MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline, and it got dark in a hurry out there. And we have had showers across the southeast Kansas region, getting into northeastern Oklahoma as the evenings progress. Even had a severe thunderstorm warning in Chautauqua County earlier in the evening. That, of course, is long gone now. We'll see more storms overnight. We'll talk about those in a moment. We started the day at 71, so not far from where we're supposed to be, and our high right where we should be at 91. However, with all that rain and humidity and everything left over from the morning storms, put those heat index values into the lower 100s for some of us. Well, with the incoming strong to severe thunderstorms over the tonight and into tomorrow evening, make sure you have that Skywatch weather app. You can scan that QR code or go to your favorite app store. It's like having the entire Skywatch weather team in the palm of your hand. We'll have another full look at your forecast and our storm chances here in a few more minutes. Elise?
Thanks, Chris. We'll check in with you soon. In a hearing yesterday, a federal judge ruled a protective order in the election interference case against former President Trump will only apply to sensitive materials, not all evidence. It comes one day after the special counsel asked the judge to begin the trial less than 2 weeks before the first presidential contest. Fox's Caroline Shively reports from Washington.
Federal judge overseeing Donald Trump's trial in Washington is warning the former president and his lawyers to keep politics out of the courtroom. On Friday, U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan said, quote, "The fact that he's running a political campaign has to yield to the orderly administration of justice. If that means he can't say exactly what he wants to say about witnesses in this case, that's how it has to be."
As we all know, the president likes to comment publicly on these cases. As we all know, he often goes close to the line. Sometimes some would say over the line in what he should be saying.
In addition to 2 other cases, Trump faces 4 federal felony counts in D.C. related to his attempts to reverse the results of the 2020 election and his role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. On Friday, Judge Chutkan rejected prosecutors' request for a full protective order that would have limited sharing of all evidence in the case, but she gave the government leeway to define what materials were sensitive and subject to greater restrictions.
The limitations that she's imposing here, I think, it's mostly, I think, agreeing what the Trump team wants them. She is causing a fight over the definition of what will be sensitive.
Prosecutors want to start the trial on January 2nd, less than 2 weeks before the Iowa caucuses. Trump also faces a New York state trial in March and another federal trial set for May. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Up next, we'll have tips on how to save on electricity in the heat. And still ahead, how the Hollywood strike is affecting the economy. We'll take a look.
Well, thanks for sticking with us here on the late edition of the KOAM News at 9. So we have had showers and thunderstorms. We had some good ones this morning across the area and some much needed rainfall. Unfortunately, after those cleared out, there was a lot of moisture, and that allowed our heat index values to soar 10 to 15 degrees above where they were, or where our air temperatures were earlier this evening across the air. Very muggy. MoDOT camera 20th and range line earlier this evening looking pretty good. Radar showing us the showers. We've had them across southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma through the evening, and those will continue to push on off to the west, and I'll start to see a few showers pushing in southwest Missouri. Severe weather out around the Dodge City area in southwestern Kansas. You can see all of that was tracking off to the north and to the east. We are watching the storms down by Oklahoma City, and this activity, it's developing across north central Oklahoma as that activity is rolling northeast and easterly and will continue to move into the area later this evening and give us the possibility of a few strong storms overnight tonight. So our tornado risk very low, no areas highlighted. We do have a low wind hail risk for some small hail and perhaps some gusty winds across the area as we go into the overnight. However, our greater concern is as we head into Sunday, specifically Sunday late evening, where we do have an elevated risk for strong to severe thunderstorms across the area with all severe hazards possible. So we're talking damaging wind gusts, large hail, and we can't rule out the possibility, at least, of an isolated tornado or two. So we'll keep a very close eye on that. As we go into the overnight tonight, we'll start by about 2, 3 a.m. Showers, thunderstorms, a little more widespread. We could see, again, a couple of stronger storms with some small hail and gusty winds across the area. Most importantly, more of that much needed rainfall across the region. And these will be like they were today, where we'll see the chance of a few scattered thunderstorms persisting through the early afternoon. Then all that clears out. We'll warm up. We'll very likely get very muggy again. And then as we go later into the evening Sunday, around 10, 11 o'clock, that cold front starts to roll through, and it's a potent one. And it's going to bring the risk of some strong to severe thunderstorms across the area as we go later in the evening Sunday, very early Monday morning. And by the time we reach sunrise, we'll be left with a few lingering showers, but those will begin to clear out as well. So we go through tonight, and of course our rain chances really ramp up, and then as we head into tomorrow, we'll have the scattered chances, but then they'll start to pick up again as we head later into the evening. And as we take a look just earlier this evening, KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue, not too bad out there either as the sun was going down, but cloudy for sure. 73 tonight, south breeze about 5 to 10 miles an hour with those thunderstorm chances. Morning and evening thunderstorms tomorrow, low 90s, but it's probably going to be fairly muggy. Southeast breeze about 5 to 15. But because of this potent cold front, unfortunately, it does bring us the severe risk, but it also brings us cooler temperatures back into the 80s, at least for a couple of days. And then as we head into next week, temperatures will begin to rise again back to the upper 90s, near 100. So you really got to enjoy Monday and Tuesday. Maybe call in sick to work. I didn't say that, but perhaps it's not a bad opportunity to do that, just to enjoy some cooler weather for a couple of days.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Well, the sweltering heat this summer has been doing a number on our electricity bills. But this industry specialist is sharing some tips to save some coin on your next bill as Americans continue to do their best to stay cool. SRP says that when using the oven, they recommend it after hours or grilling outside in the summer when it's too hot. They also say it's best to unplug appliances like a coffee maker or anything with a clock on it, because even if you're not using them, they are still using power. Keeping your trips to the fridge short is also key to stopping your refrigerator from wasting energy. Even adjusting the thermostat when you leave your house can help maximize your savings. Well, coming up in sports, the Kansas City Chiefs are in New Orleans getting ready for their first preseason game on Sunday. And the Wyandotte football team hosted Media Day. Brock Waldridge has the story next in sports.
Well, the football practices around the 4 states continue through this weekend. As we've covered many teams this week from Missouri, we now shift our focus south to Wyandotte, Oklahoma, as the Bears prepare for their 2023 season. On Saturday morning, the Bears hosted Black and White Media Day. The Bears got out on the turf this morning, scrimmaging in front of their own fans. People from all over the community got a chance to see the Wyandotte football team and what they look like under new head coach Doug Buckmaster. Buckmaster comes over after 10 seasons from Carl Junction. Now, as far as the scrimmage goes, nice play here as Dawson White makes the grab and fighting for those extra yards before he goes down. Then the black team gets a big play here as Isaiah Wallen takes the sweep for a big gain, and he gets pushed out of bounds. Then the next team white possession, Evan Brown, the running back, will bounce this outside around the defense and goes all the way to the end zone for a touchdown. The Bears got a lot of reps in for today as they continue to prepare for their Week 1 opponent against Liberty High School in Mounds, Oklahoma.
You know, these kids are, we're trying to develop a little bit different culture than what they've had in the past, and we're trying to do things in practice tempo-wise with a lot more speed than what they're used to doing. So they've been doing a good job of it. Just here in scrimmage this morning with our kids who we perceive as being our ones right now, have done a really good job. They've really improved, and we're really happy with where we're at there. We just got to bring that second bunch along.
And now changing from high school to pro football, the Kansas City Chiefs are prepared to play their first football game since they won the Super Bowl back in February. The Chiefs take on the New Orleans Saints on Sunday afternoon for Week 1 of the preseason. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes gave their thoughts on tomorrow's game.
So everybody will play. This game here, everybody will play. And they deserve that. They've earned that right. They've made it through this part of camp, and they've earned the right to get out there. And obviously we can't keep everybody. I tell them that. We can't keep everybody. Make the decision hard on Brett, myself, and let's go.
And it's just getting that first, I always say that first hit. You want to get hit where it's not too hard, but you can feel it. I mean, you go through a long off season of working through the pocket and knowing the guys are rushing, but they can't touch you. And so it's just different when you get in the game and you're able to get tackled and everything like that.
And the I-70 series continues tonight between the Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals. The Royals won the series opener last night 12-8. They scored 9 runs in the first 2 innings. Well, we now look at tonight, and the Cardinals get even with the Royals. St. Louis defeats Kansas City 5-4. Cardinals got a boost from the bottom of the lineup as Tommy Edman hit 2 home runs in this game for the Redbirds. Nelson Velasquez, just acquired by the Royals, hit a 2-run home run tonight for KC. So now these teams will have a rare Sunday off day tomorrow before they get back at it with some action on Monday.
I'm certainly looking forward to football season, both in the 4 states and the NFL.
Absolutely, yes. Lots of football to cover soon.
Well, looking forward to it. Well, we'll be right back. As the Hollywood double strikes continue, the economic impact has already exceeded the last writer's strike, affecting businesses both in and outside of the entertainment industry. Here's Fox's Ashley Dworkin.
The impact of Hollywood's double strike on California's economy is estimated in the billions.
The writer's strike, which is now over 100 days, and the Screen Actors Guild strike, which is several weeks already, has probably cost the state upwards of $3 billion in terms of lost revenue and jobs and businesses affected by it. And that's already more than what the strike was effect in 2007.
Businesses are affected within and outside the entertainment industry.
Not just the ancillary businesses that studios and producers do business with, the makeup artists, the catering, the set design people, the road crews, the Teamsters, but there's the restaurants, there's the event planners.
The impact also stretches beyond Hollywood.
Georgia is a huge state for movies and TV shows to shoot in, as is Louisiana. as is New Mexico, even in Canada.
Efforts to help those out of work as all wait for a resolution include funds like the SAG-AFTRA Foundation.
A lot of actors who are very well known and successful and have the resources have contributed to funds. Drew Carey does this thing at a diner near where I work, where he's been buying lunch for writers. For these people who are already in the struggle to make it and succeed and get work, to have no opportunities is really hard. And that's why I just think it's incumbent on both sides to really try to get this thing done as soon as possible.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Up next, a fossil in Egypt named after King Tut has been discovered. Researchers have discovered a fossil that may be the smallest whale species known to science. According to a new study, the fossil was discovered about 25 miles away from the Wadi al-Haytham World Heritage Site in Egypt, and it dates back to about 41 million years and has been named after King Tut. The whale is estimated to have weighed over 400 pounds and was only 8 feet long, and that is comparable in size to a modern-day bottlenose dolphin. Paleontologists are still working in the area where the fossil was discovered and say there's a good chance they'll find even earlier fully aquatic whales. The study discussing the new species was published Thursday in the journal Communications Biology. Only 8 feet. I love how they say only.
Only 8 feet. Not like it's not very big
Right.
or anything. And to be discovered in Egypt, though, I mean, that
quite
goes back to
impressive.
the world history and how things have changed.
I wonder if they'll find more things there.
I
We'll
have
to keep a
no
lookout.
doubt that they will. We thought that the pyramids were cool. Wait until we dig deeper, right?
Absolutely.
Well, something that's not too cool, except for the much needed rain we're going to get, is our strong storm chances as we go overnight tonight. And then we are watching the severe threat as we head Sunday evening into very early Monday morning. After that cold front pushes through, though, temperatures much better Monday and Tuesday before they'll turn around and heat up again toward the end of next week.
Well, enjoy the cool weather while you can. And that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of a pup being rescued from the wildfires in Maui. We'll see you back here next time. Thanks for making us part of your night.